Now we have the point of no return. UberDanger's episode 3. Let's continue on to the series. That's a big banana. I mean, it's really not that big of a banana. It's literally, I mean, yeah, it's really not. Like for reference, this is like my fate. Okay, we'll get this video started.
Time, our hero sold a gnome an axe after making him dance naked, had a 4 AM twerk party in the Dead Mines dungeon, attained 2 pieces of blue gear, and got slaughtered by the Horde countless times. Continuing the adventure, I traveled to Lakeshire and contracted scoliosis after drinking an indigenous brew of psychoactive alkaloids. Swakwicktus would come to find that when you're under a 10-minute scoliosis debuff, there's nothing you can do but just wait it out and let nature run its course. By the way, due to my own scoliosis, I get to make as many jokes as I want. I wish I was straight, but God made me this way. Y'all ever had so much gangster lean you'd need surgery to get rid of it? Pause for laughter. This is where you laugh. I'm trying to remember a joke someone told me about a week back, but I can't get it straight. Honestly, as a person with scoliosis, I don't think I'm that different. I'm like a normal guy, but with a twist. I then tried fishing with these 2 kids, only to realize that the dwarven fishing pole I had was actually a gun. The downside was that Roger and Jemin would have to fish on their own. The silver lining was that I now had a fucking gat. After doing parkour for 15 minutes to get on top of this building, by the way, I live a very fulfilling life, I found a group to take down one bad hombre of an elite mob, Xaryu. This was the first time I would use corpse running as a legitimate strategy. You run up to his castle and die. Then you zoom right past the ridiculous number of elite mobs that occupy the castle and go straight to the throne room, where you all resurrect at the same time. That is if I had actually paid any attention to the instructions. Now, optimally, this is where we'd all res, take out the 2 regular elite mobs, regenerate all our health, and take out Xaryu. But need I remind you that WoW Classic is a fuckers game. Half our party wipes just fighting the first 2 dudes. And it was whilst awaiting their return that I noticed Blizzard had changed our guild name. Not a good look. Anyways, we all ready up for the fight. They give me the green light to—
Wait, what was the old guild name? I'm trying to remember. Was it Pornhub or something? From the other video? I think it was like, yeah, it was literally just Pornhub. I was thinking in my head, that's gonna get banned, and then it did.
Get this show on the road, I charge in, forget to pop my healing potion, and pretty much get murked.
Oh, you're right. No, that was another guild. The guild was Nogger. Okay, yeah. Like instead of Noggin Fox, okay.
Immediately. Without a tank, everyone dies and half the party leaves. Luckily, it is a pretty popular quest, so we quickly got replacements. Although we did have to wait for them to go through the process of corpse walking. This time around, we hit it like it's Y2K. I fear the mobs, completely ruining the fight for everyone. I was then banished from playing the game for like 15 seconds. It's a reoccurring theme in WoW to be CC'd for over 10 seconds, and in retrospect, this actually saved me from dying. In my opinion, Xaryu is a bit of a boss man G when you really get down to brass tacks. Not a good day to be our mage though. I managed to loot Xaryu's head moments before dying and say sayonara, it's been my utmost pleasure, and I'm moving on to the next quest, losers.
I love how it's just constant red gear at any point in the series. Look at the, oh, my camera's blocking it. Look at the upper right. It's just constant gear, fully red, broken, like every time. It's great.
Utmost pleasure, and I'm moving on to the next quest, losers. And in light of recent demonetizations, you will not be seeing any more naked gnomes on this channel. It's entirely my fault for thinking YouTube could handle such graphic content. I have come up with a new motto to show that I truly have changed. I say, Azeroth for all. So let's just all have a good friendly time here. Let's just have some fun. See, that's what I love about the classic community. It's just a community, and it's just... And if I recall correctly, I then went into the Stockades dungeon and wiped immediately. Then I involuntarily left the party. In a moment of despair, I actually considered buying a new WoW GF, but saner minds prevailed. Then I leveled to the appropriate level, got a bit of gear. You know, you need a little bit of gear in World of Warcraft. And then I tried the Stockades dungeon for real this time. We make it to the final boss, where I tactically decide to fear the mobs, completely ruining the fight for everyone. The feared mobs then go on to aggro every remaining enemy in the dungeon. We almost immediately wipe and have to run all the way back, and our healer really wasn't on point for this one, I have to say. But with World of Warcraft, you never know what to expect. You never know if you're gonna fuck everything up, or if the servers are gonna disconnect, or maybe it's, what's the mix-up? Reversal, and the boss actually fears you into all the other mobs, aggroing them, making your party wipe, having to walk all the way back.
I love it. I love it.
This is my real laughter. Dead Mines is engaging and really well designed, whereas the Stockades is boring and shit, which is exactly why I did it twice. I hadn't picked the quest chain that leads to the Seal of Rin, a ring I really wanted.
Big mistake.
I wish someone had told me that I didn't have to do the dungeon for a second time, but I suppose it's a learning experience. Now you might recall the gnome who I made. Well, he messaged me out of the blue with an item upgrade. That's actually happy vibes and good karma. He requests that we do Stockades before handing it over. After painstakingly going through Stockades for the 3rd time, he informs me that it's his weapon and he'd never give it to me. Now there are many things I wish to call this gnome, all of which would leave me restricted by my technocratic overlords, so I'm just gonna tell you what happened next. I found the answer to the question: what would happen if you fell off a boat right before the zone that loads into the Eastern Kingdoms? Well, you'd have a very long time to think about the consequences of your actions.
Then
I killed some cows. And I found out the hard way you're not supposed to walk anywhere near the Terran Mill Death Guards. Then I took my frustrations out on—
This is why hardcore WoW is so fun. There's so many things in WoW that can just get you killed unless you know not to do them. Like falling off a boat and getting fatigued. You're like running into a city that you're not supposed to. Like hard quests, like accidentally flagging like this because his name is green and getting killed by a PvP. I mean, yeah, it owns.
This poor hunter who was just looking to level in peace grew tired of WoW PvP when I was quickly reminded that mages can just freeze you and blink away. Found the Stonehenge and decided to check my mailbox. I was kinda hoping you guys had sent me a bunch of gold so I could skank through this game like a primal fucking animal. Yet all I got was 69 copper, a glass of milk, and a note telling me to stick my hand inside. And just when you think you've seen it all, you realize World of Warcraft has so much more to offer. We tried to kill Balgaraz the Foul and died 5 times in a row, at which point I decided that all the events that had just transpired simply wasn't gonna cut it. I would have to redeem the current state of affairs by entering yet another dungeon. I returned to Ashenvale, the southeast London of Azeroth, and subjected myself to a ghastly experience. I believe that entering Blackfathom Deeps when the hour's about to ding midnight is about as close as you can get to simulating the conditions in a black hole. You start by finding a group of moderately intelligent humans with nothing better to do on a Tuesday night. On your way through Ashenvale and Zaram Strand, you may encounter harsh adversity, which you must overcome. Jump down this water temple and swim into these narrow underground tunnels. Now mind you, we're still in contested territory, so you may run into a sizable group of Horde players. Naturally, I did the only responsible thing and immediately ambushed them. Naturally, I did the only responsible thing and immediately ambushed them. Naturally, I did the only responsible thing and immediately ambushed them. Sorry, times are tough.
That
I had to outsource all my editing to a guy in Bangladesh. So if any of it seems poorly cut together, if any of it's immediately ambushed them, Bangladesh. Times are tough. It was rather unfortunate that they were 2 groups. They killed us, camped our corpses for 10 minutes, and then eventually moved on. We got absolutely cucked, having to move a safe distance behind them at a snail's pace, missing out on all the XP and items. After going through the death tunnels, we entered Blackfathom Deeps.
All in, all in.
Little did we know, we had a long night ahead of us. This is how you can tell I was less of a Super Mario 64 person and more of a Diddy Kong Racing person.
No!
Boom. Now there's two quests for this dungeon that rely on RNG, and I'll have you know I completed neither. Drop rates in WoW Classic are notorious for being unreasonably low and very inconsistent, or as the community would put it, incredibly rewarding. BFD is definitely a much cooler dungeon than Stockades. You got a variety of different enemies, and it's set in this underwater cavern where you have to clear out sea witches before swimming through underwater tunnels. You get vibrant neon-esque green and purple colors, saturated to the gills. The item drops are actually worthwhile, and I'd put this on par with Dead Mines. It's just really well made. Other than fighting a few...
BFD is not as good as Dead Mines, and it's not called Dead Mines, it's VC. Okay, but we can forgive him.
Two Murlocs and Sea Threshers in Darkshore, this is the first time I really got my feet wet with underwater combat, and we were fucking killing it. I was beginning to think that this was going to be a pretty clean run without any hiccups. That is until we reached the Temple of the Old Gods, or rather the entrance to the temple. This was the very moment where the extent of our ability to operate as a unit was revealed. We weren't very good. Zippin, bad effort, and yours truly tried fighting the mobs up on this sidewalk, until Dazar said, "Come down, quick," at which point, 1 minute later, I immediately jumped down whilst the others stayed up top. As I tried to save Dazar, Frothgar aggroes all the mobs and take them up to where I just jumped down from. Bad effort, our healer, lives up to his name and proceeds to flee the fight with full health. We then got sandwiched in the worst way possible and all died. Then it dawned on me that you have to walk all the way from the entrance to Ashenvale, through Zoram Strand, over to the temple, through the underwater caverns, to then enter BFD, and walk all the way through the dungeon every time you wipe. Something I would describe as a tedious process. So one could only hope that we weren't gonna die anymore.
Ha ha ha. Dust to dust.
We made our way through the mobs that had previously brought us trouble, rolled for a chest, I didn't get it, and then jumped in the water to kill the old Sarakis. Once we slay the beast, I need for a cape that I have no use for, and get promptly disconnected from the Blizzard multiplayer experience.
Oh, no.
When I log back in, I can see I won the cape. Nice. It's got pretty much the same stats as my current one, but it's green. Now that I really get a good look at it, I think I prefer the old one. Now,
yeah, wait. The old one was better, wasn't it?
Back in, I can see I won the cape. It's got pretty much the same
stamina, agility, pretty much the same stats as strength, spirit. What do you mean, pretty much the same stats, Uber? Go with the stamina owns. What are we talking about? Stamina agi.
Stats as my current one, but it's green. Now that I really get a good look at it, I think I prefer the old one. Now, Dazar was a war-hardened WoW veteran. He knew this dungeon in and out, so the smart thing to do would be to just listen to his instructions, as he knew his shit. He informs us to just pull 1 or 2 mobs at a time and fight them outside the temple. We do it and clear out all the smaller mobs. So far, so good. Now, he'd been preparing us for the boss fight. He told us for the last hour, over and over again, that once we kill the boss, we just shouldn't click anything. Something we've all agreed to on multiple occasions. Now, before killing the boss, he reminds us one last time. Please don't touch anything. There's these 4 shrines, and it's vital that you guys don't activate any of them. Let me handle this part. I'm like, geez, does he think we're stupid or something?
Wait, the healer has 0 mana when they pull. The priest like was rebuffing or something. They have no mana. Bro, Kelleris is so scary now after playing Sod. Like, I'm afraid he's gonna wipe everyone, but this Kelleris isn't bad at all.
But as it turns out, this man just had a comprehensive understanding of the spectrum of intelligence you may encounter in this game. Allow me to walk you through our effective communications right after we kill the boss. I need 1 more pendant. Okay, so we don't touch anything. Well, still good pants for you. Menacingly walking towards the 4 shrines in silence. Fuck's sake. No one move. What now? Need 1 more pendant. Don't click anything. Need 1 pendant. Already? I need 2. I need 2. Don't click anything. Starts activating all 4 altars at once. Stop! What the fuck did I say? Look head. Oh, we can't just press them? Oh, wipe. Ready? Fuck, man. Now, we could have fought one horde of mobs at a time, but due to Hrothgar's mutiny, we were now facing 4. Needless to say, they wiped the floor with us, and we had to walk the damn pilgrimage yet again. After calling Hrothgar a donkey and a daydreamer, Bad Effort informs us that he had to go due to urgent matters in real life. At 1 AM, we didn't really believe him, so we told him to suck it up and smoke through it. In the words of the donkey daydreamer himself, "Ah well, I can admit when I screwed up. I'm sorry there."
See, that's what I love about Classic. It's just a community. I'm gonna post this interaction to the WoW Classic subreddit.
When we then make it to the temple, we face the unforeseen consequences of Hrothgar's actions. Every elite mob we summoned are clumped up in the same spot.
Do you guys really buy that that was an accident? There's no way. Oh man, whoops. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Making it impossible for us to fight them one at a time. We have to kill them if we want to make it to the final boss. One guy has to fucking go, so I make the executive decision to pull all the mobs, somehow, and I really don't know how. We perfectly executed optimal teamwork. We all focus the right mobs in the right order, keep the aggro perfectly split between the 2 tanks, and we kill every single mob without anyone dying.
W.
Which opens the door to the ancient gods. As the final foe, Akamai, stands before us, I do what I do best. With a spring in my step, a glint in my eye, and a fire in my belly, I ruin everything because I'm not very talented. Zippin was tanking, everything was going smooth until our healer ran out of mana.
Yeah.
Zippin's health started falling dangerously low.
Sure, they pulled his
Akamai
zero
blocks
mana.
my mocking blow, so he keeps attacking Zippin. I don't taunt the boss because I don't use defensive stance, and I forgot that I even had challenging shout. I don't think much of it, I mean, we've pretty much killed him already. Then, Akamai enrages and starts quickly chunking Zippin's health. As I ponder which ability to use, I remember that I have challenging shout. Unfortunately, I opt to click on demoralizing shout, proving that I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing in this game. Within a 15-second time frame, Zippin dies. I die. Our healer dies. And finally, Dazar fell too, leaving everything up to Hrothgar, the man with a lukewarm IQ.
Go, Hrothgar! Oh, come on, Hroth! Go, go, go! Go! Get out!
On his last attack, he actually manages to fucking do it, only to be taken down by one of the smaller mobs seconds later. His last words? Damn you, turtle.
And now they have to run all the way back. Oh no, the loot did come up. Okay.
Akamai drops a belt that none of us can really use and we leave the party. But you won't believe what heretical thing happened next. Week. On Swakwikda's bizarre adventure.
Oh, that's it? It's already over. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I like the maybe. To be continued. Maybe depending on how many people actually enjoy the content in the series. Oh, that's so good. Man, I love watching noobs play WoW. It is really entertaining to see an actual just noob group through BFD wiping. I feel like that 4 candle had to be on purpose. I have a video that like that last scene. Your channel is eligible. Unlock a new way to earn money with memberships. Oh, not now. I'm streaming on Twitch. What was I saying? Okay, so the last scene of the paladin killing Akumai reminds me of our guild's first High King Mulgar. Is that the name? This is me 16 years ago. Our first High King Mulgar down ever. I was a paladin. I've shown this video before, but it's been a long time. My guild says to just spam rank 1 flash heal on the tank, and I was a good listener, so that's all I did. I spammed rank 1 flash heal only on the tank, and that's pretty much it. Okay. Fast forward 2 minutes, like many people have died. I'm still spamming rank 1 flash heal on the tank. Fast forward many more minutes. I'm still spamming flash 1. Okay. Fast forward even more minutes, and here we are. Half of our raid's dead. I'm still spamming on the tank, as I was told. Fast forward many more minutes, and the majority of our raid's dead, and I'm still spamming flash heal on the tank. And oh yeah, I'm actually doing bigger flash heals now. And High King at this point is down to like 5%, I think. Yeah, look, he's at literally 5% life, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players up, it looks like. Let's fast forward like another minute, we have even less. Another minute, we have even less. This was our first kill ever. We were wiping on this for weeks, by the way. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 players. 8 players remain. Unless these are 2 more. No, I think these are just the tank frames of these 2 guys. Yeah, they are. 8 players against High King. I throw a hammer at him for 800 damage. I get aggro. And do I have bubble? Do I have bubble? Oh, I do bubble. Okay, nice. So I bubble up and hammer over out. This was the point in the video that reminded me of the clutch. Of the paladin clutch right here. Except in my story, well, no spoilers. We'll let the rest play out here. High King Mulgar's at literal 1%. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players up. I get aggro. And I die. 6 players alive. I did not clutch it for our squad today. 6 players up, and everyone's spamming to kill it. Just kill him, OMG. 5 players up. Everyone was so stoked, man. Mainly, it looks like I was stoked. I was the one spamming the raid chat. I was like 12 years old, man. I was so excited on that kill. And now I'm 30 years old, and I'm still pretty excited on that kill. That was clean, baby. Yeah.
Information.
That was that.